Hi, I'm Nancy, and I'm going to read to you today from Access to Power, a radical approach for changing your life. I'm going to read to you from the Pig Parent chapter, and this is called Shame is Pig in the Body. In the psychological world, this weighed down feeling is commonly called shame. Shame is defined as a painful emotion caused by consciousness of guilt, shortcoming, or impropriety, and the susceptibility to such emotion. The word susceptible jumps out at me as particularly interesting when we discuss shame in our cultural model. Shame is so interwoven into our construction of the self that many of our feelings, thoughts, and stories about ourselves and the world are shame-filled. We are susceptible to suggestions that we should feel bad about our behavior, our choices, our sense of belonging, and even our very existence. The way human beings internalize oppression is extraordinarily creative. We shape our bodies to be as danger-free as possible. We tailor our thoughts to strategize safe connections and maximize the love we receive. We take on external values and rules, and they can sound like voices in our heads or appear as constricting impulses in our bodies. We may have vague but intense feelings of being exhausted, depressed, or lethargic. The ongoing voices and bodily constrictions become background noise, constant feedback on our daily activities. The voices varying from cruel, judgmental attacks to subtle overplanning to an evaluation of every nuance of a meeting become hardwired as thoughts, emotions, and physical tension. In Skills for Change, we call these voices in embodied tension the pig parent. Shame is pig in the body, says Julia Kelleher. The pig parent acts as an internal police force, judge and jury, enforcing the external social rules for appropriate behavior. We learn a rule book for greater success in the intimate settings of the family, classroom, schoolyard, and possibly church or community organizations. These are the locations for the thousands of daily transactions we engage in as young people. Our internalized oppression will be much harsher than the worst danger we faced in the world during our young life. It is the purpose of our safety reflex to keep us safe after all. How could the pig parent keep us safe with timid, weak voices? Maybe you should move out of the way, dear. No, when we hear it, what we hear in our heads is, get out of the way! The pig messages have a range of meanings. They might say we are weak, sick or ill, stupid, crazy, lazy, ugly, bad, or deserve to die. We construct a set of strategies to help us succeed, and the internalized message is usually worse than anything anyone actually says to us, because the pig is trying to keep us safe by heading off dangerous behavior before it starts. These strategies contain a code to our unique and individual contexts. They are both universal and incredibly specific. They are wholly ours, and as such, can be reinvented. It's important to remember that the cops in our heads are not actually authority figures. They are manifestations of a terrified inner child who tries to figure out the adult world and uses intensity, harshness, criticism, contempt, and even cruelty to enforce behavior. So I wanted to read about shame and how it's stored in the body today because I wanted to remind us that these strategies happen body first, that they're not actually something that's going on in our mind first. Our mind is trying to explain bodily phenomenon, experiences, emotions, intensity. And that intensity is happening at a cellular level. It's happening in our skin, in our tissues, in our muscles, and in the shape of our face, the shape of our shoulders, the shape of our breath, the shape of our belly, the shape of our diaphragm, the shape of our hips and legs, what we allow ourselves to do, how we allow ourselves to move. It's really important for us to figure out what our body is doing with shame, what our body is doing with this heavy load of shoulds. And that's bad, that was okay, you're good, that you earned something today, you didn't earn something today. And actually, most of the time there aren't nurturing voices, or they're just a small, tiny fraction of the cruel voices, because our behavior, the nurturing voices don't help us be safer. And this is a safety mechanism. So if you think about how much actual physical danger there is in your life, historically or in the present, your pig, that mechanism, is all about trying to keep you safe from that danger. Now, if you've only experienced brief moments of physical danger in your life, the pig is probably not identifying the fact that those were only a couple of brief moments and most of the time you're safe. It's focused on the fact that that could happen again. So you need to know what you're doing, and then once you know what you're doing, you can start to choose to do something else. You can figure out what a more resilient body shape looks like and start to adjust, to move, to recenter from that shame body to that more resilient body. Hope that helps.